All right, guys, just when you thought I couldn't fit anything else in my rack build, the team at Digital Glue sent me this. It's the EdgeX network attached storage device. In this video, I'm going to show you how this device, along with the creative.space software, is an incredible solution for media management for your worship production and creative teams. So if you're capturing a ton of video and audio content, if you are needing to collaboratively edit that content in software like Premiere, After Effects, Logic Pro, Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, you're gonna want to watch this video. So now that we have all of this cool new tech here at Rock Harbor Church, we're able to capture really high quality audio and really high quality video. We actually ran into a new problem. How are we gonna go about storing all of this media that we're capturing every single week or during special events like worship nights? And then once that media is captured, how do we collaboratively edit that media without having to use a bunch of portable hard drives and pass those drives around and keep track of who has which drive and what media is on which drive? It quickly turns into a huge mess. And that is where a device like the EdgeX comes in, because you're able to store all of your media assets and work off of this device collaboratively. This device has over 15 terabytes of solid state storage, meaning it is super fast and it's also portable. There's no moving parts in the device, so you can easily move it around if you need to. It also has a 10 gig connection, so multiple users can be networked into the device and we can all be editing off of our favorite applications, whether that's DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro or Premiere or Logic Pro. The problem with cloud storage solutions like Dropbox or Google Drive is that it's very clunky to actually collaborate together on the same projects, because everyone who needs access to those projects still needs to download those files locally onto their individual drives to be able to edit within their favorite applications. And then once they're done editing, you have to wait for all of the assets to then get synced to the cloud again before someone else can open that same file and start editing. But the cool part about the EdgeX and a network attached storage device is you can really think of it as being one drive that multiple people can access at the same time. And yes, ideally, your team members are gonna be in the same physical location and you can network into the drive with a 10 gigabit Ethernet connection. But even if some of your team members are working remotely, you can use a VPN and they can actually still remote into the drive as if they were plugged into it in person. Using a network attached storage like the EdgeX can be a game changer for your worship production and creative ministry workflows. One scenario is, let's say you have a video editor who works in Premiere and an editor working in After Effects. They can be working on the same project simultaneously. The person editing graphics can make changes to their project in After Effects, and in real time, the person editing in Premiere can actually use those same graphics in their timeline. One use case that's really helpful for us here at Rock Harbor is to be able to capture multi-track audio and isolated video recordings from our worship services. So once those files are created, whether it's with the ATEM ISO recordings or with Logic Pro X, we can then begin editing those files for various projects. So let me show you what this looks like. So once the EdgeX is all configured, it's going to show up as a device within Finder on your Mac computer or your file browser if you're using a PC. And I can click on our space right here. And here you can see all the files that we've saved to the drive so far. So I can go down here into our ISO recording, and we have a couple different projects here. And I can go through and let's open up a file. So here's a test file. So you can just see how quickly it is playing back the media. I'm scrubbing through it, no problem. Again, using that 10 gigabit connection, it's not having a hard time loading any of those files. What's so cool about recording with the ATEM Extreme ISO is that it's actually going to create a DaVinci Resolve project for me, and I'm just going to be able to open that up off of the EdgeX server, and I can get to work editing a multicam file. So right now I've got audio coming into my Waves LV1 mixing console over the Waves SoundGrid network, but these audio files are actually being played back from Logic Pro, which is pulling files from the Edge X. So all of these files, the multi-track wave files, were recorded through Logic Pro. They were saved onto the Edge X solid state drive, and then that drive is connected to this MacBook Pro, which is back in the rack, and it's connected over that 10 gigabit connection, and that's why we're able to stream back all these audio files with no problem at all. And what's nice about having all of that storage on this drive is that we will be able to record many services and multi-track audio from a lot of services onto that one drive, and be able to play the files back for virtual sound checks, or be able to do some post-production on these files if we want to edit down a song after a Sunday and publish it on YouTube or Spotify or social media. As you can see, there's potential for this to really speed up your workflows for various different aspects of your ministry. And I want to show you how simple it is to actually use the Edge X and the creative.space software. To do that, I'm going to hand it over to Nick from Digital Glue, who's going to walk you through what that entails.
The entire platform was designed for non-technical creatives, right? So you don't need to have an IT background or anything like that to manage the system. It's got a full user management and permission system built in, so you don't need to connect to any third-party IT systems. You can just go into our simple web portal, set up your spaces, set up your users, groups, and grant people access, and they're just able to access things right away. So we've got support for over 200 different media file types. So you're able to go in, browse them, inspect them. You're able to even launch them on your desktop. So whatever the default application is on your desktop for that format, you can just click this little rocket ship icon, and it's gonna go ahead and launch that on your computer. You can also do this with your project files. So if you've got a Premiere project file, you can actually share a link to it, and someone can just go ahead and click on that rocket ship icon and launch it on their desktop and get to work. And you can do the same thing with graphics. We look at red clips as a single clip. It's a folder format normally, and so we look at that as a single clip. And then even better, with our tagging functionality, you're able to tag those clips, and then if I go ahead and I click one of these dots, it's going to jump me over to our libraries page. And so on the libraries page, I'm able to go in, and instead of looking through a whole folder structure and going in folders, out of folders, I'm able to just see a whole flattened structure and go in through tags and find all the stuff I'm looking for. So I can look for video, audio, whatever you want to set up as your tags. It's really easy to just go in here, kind of basically set up your custom metadata, and then make it easy for people to find. It's kind of a curated portal that you can create. And so that could be your services or whatever you want it to be. So here in our desktop app, it's a full file browser as well. So you can go to any of your clips and you can preview them. You can even play them back in the browser. If you have a 360 video, you can even move around the player and view that. Again, you can launch, you can open them on the web, copy links, share them with other people on the network, and they'll be able to just open them up. So you don't need to upload your files to the cloud in order to share links. You can share links to all the files that are already on your storage. The way you end up scaling, you get something new, and you got to figure out, can I store this? Do I have enough capacity? And if not, you got to buy a new hard drive. And at a certain point, you run out of ports on your workstation. And so at that point, you end up having to then get bigger RAIDs. And then if other people need to access those, you end up sharing them over your network. And so you have all these different copies of all the media all being shared over the network, and it's just slow because it's not designed to be accessed by more than one user. And so by switching to a solution like creative.space, you're able to centralize all that, everyone's able to access it, and it's all stored in one place. And not only just for the post-production team, but also the live production team is able to just access that storage in real time, grab that footage, and get it out to the show. And so when you're doing a service where you're working down to the last minute, and it could take 30 minutes to download something from an online portal, when it's just accessible like that, you're able to just completely improvise and work and just make sure you have the best possible product down to the last second. And so we've seen customers go from like a half an hour down to 2 minutes just getting all the stuff ready into their live system and ready to go. And so it's made a huge difference for them. So yeah, we've got customers who have HyperDeck systems where they're capturing all the ISO feeds into the HyperDecks, and they're able to connect those over a 10 gig network to our storage. And so they're able to just capture those down and access them right away. And then with the remote access to the storage, their editor is actually in another state even, and they're able to connect in and edit off of those right away and then get a service video online the next day. So with remote workflows, there's really no one size fits all. It's really about figuring out what is your connectivity and then generating proxy files that are optimized for that. And as part of our managed service, we work with you to figure out what that is, right? So you're not just alone figuring that out. We work with you, and then you connect up the VPN to the storage, and then that gives you the ability to connect remotely, access those files, and you can do screen sharing, or you can just edit live with proxies. And with a lot of the features within the software people work with, they've got a mode where one person can be editing in the project with the source files locally, and another editor can be remote working with the proxies, and they're both in the same project working together in real time.
Pricing for the EdgeX starts at $250 per month. That includes the hardware and the software service, so you don't have any large upfront costs like you typically would when you're trying to build out a network attached storage solution. That subscription also includes all of the support that you're gonna need to tailor this solution to your custom workflows. You don't need a dedicated IT staff because the team at Creative Space is gonna be there to support you through the process, and they're gonna proactively identify any issues with your device and your system to ensure that you don't lose any data. Best of all, they understand the creative process and the demands of typical workflows, so they will be able to help you custom tailor whatever system works best for you. Creative Space also has a cloud storage feature, and the team at Digital Glue is giving away 6 months free of that cloud service for up to 10 terabytes worth of storage. If you want a chance to win the free storage, check out the link below and enter that giveaway. A huge thank you to Digital Glue for allowing me to demo this Creative Space system with the EdgeX. I'm excited to hear how you guys are able to implement this system at your church to really speed up and empower your creative workflows for worship and production ministry. To learn more about the EdgeX and Creative Space, check out the link below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.